Of all the days, oh man, on all the days, I guess Haason Reddick is seeking out a trade. Yeah.
We better try. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. And obviously, the Super Bowl is today. And, of all the days where things come out regarding our roster, and unfortunately, regarding our roster, it's not fantastic news at all. And it looks like that Haason Reddick is seeking out a trade. And the news is out from Ian Rappaport officially. Says sources Eagles All-Pro edge rusher Haason Reddick has received permission to seek a trade following another disruptive season featuring double-digit sacks. 29-year-old with 27 sacks over 2 seasons in Philly could land elsewhere. Okay. Now I'm gonna read some of the other. Reports of why this is happening. Okay, just so we get a idea of what's going on. Okay. We'll do that first, get into my own opinion on what's going on. All right. John Clark says, I'm told Eagles will only deal with a team with compensation and cap considerations works out for them. They're trying to find a win-win situation on both sides by understanding that the Eagles have other pressing needs and have limitations to spend more money on D-line right now. I mean, I don't get into that. Zach Berman says, my understanding is that the Eagles will only move Reddick if it makes sense, both with the compensation in return, with their cap objectives cannot be achieved with the new deal. Okay, as we've noted, Joshua is also entering last year. This isn't a fire sale. Eagles are letting him explore a market to see if there's a situation that makes sense with those considerations, but it's pretty clear that there's going to need to be a new deal, whether elsewhere or in Philly. The alternative is an unhappy player, which won't benefit either side. Okay, so we have to look at this as, look, at the end of the day, we knew that there was going to be a holdout. We knew that there was going to be something with Haason Reddick. Okay? You extend Haason Reddick, you save $11 million. And Howie Roseman, if a trade does happen, okay, Howie Roseman's not going to get Haason Reddick for nothing. Okay? To trade him away for nothing. 29 years old. 27 sacks in 2 seasons. Okay? Fantastic work. Our best defensive lineman right now. And underpaid like crazy. He doesn't even make over $10 million a year. He is the 18th highest paid defense. 26, 27 sacks in 2 seasons. And beyond that, and he doesn't he doesn't make anything. I would have to believe that the Eagles aren't ready to extend him right now because they're just not in the process of doing it right now. That's where I think they're at. And I think there are players out there that just want to test the market. There's players that just do that. Hey, I'm going to go out there and obviously he seek permission to do this. Okay? Just to see, because he doesn't make much. For what he's doing, the production he's putting in, he doesn't make much. So, I mean, he came to Philadelphia on a discount, okay? But to do what he's been doing the last couple seasons with the Eagles, I can't, you know what I mean? He just wants to see what his market looks like. Okay, he's a $21 million cap hit, okay? So the Eagles are looking at a team with deep pockets and a lot of compensation if they want him that badly. Okay? I don't think this has anything to do with, he doesn't fit Vic Fangio's scheme, or I don't believe it has anything to do with that because it's just so early in the process right now. But I feel like Reddick just wants to say, hey, let me just go out there and just, let me just see what's out there, and maybe if there's a good number out there that a team wants to pay me, then, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Now, Haason Reddick can seek a trade. He can go out and talk to teams. His agent can go talk to teams of interest. He doesn't, he's not a free agent, obviously. He doesn't wait till he becomes the unrestricted free agent, which he's not. Okay, last year of his deal. But let's just say this happens. And the term of, oh, the Eagles are not going to put too much in the defensive line. Yeah, I mean, that's a good and a bad sign. It's a good sign because then they'll start paying attention to other positions and saying, okay, like Howie loves the trenches, but maybe they'll pay attention to linebacker. Maybe they'll pay attention to safety. I think that's what it's telling us by those words. Defensive tackle is fine right now. Maybe they need one more depth piece, a rotational guy. But realistically, at defensive end, they're shot. Josh Sweat's on the last year of his deal. It's looking as if they're not going to pay Josh Sweat. I don't know. Reddick's 29. What are you giving him? What I mean? That's but I think Reddick can still play for a few more years. I mean, I don't see Reddick declining. Simple as that. He's only looked like maybe he's declined because of how this defense. And if anybody says Haason Reddick's declined, I don't know what to tell you. Because I think everybody on this defensive line hit a wall. But when it comes to numbers, he's got the numbers. And probably would have had more numbers this past year. Probably would have had more numbers back in 22 when he wasn't in pass coverage 25% of the time. But in this Vic Fangio scheme, he'll probably be in a lot more pass coverage. And who would I trust more in pass coverage? Probably Haason Reddick over Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat's on the last year of his deal. You draft Nolan Smith and did nothing with him. Not even showing he had a little bit of something there. Nolan Smith had a neck injury, or a stinger, I should say, coming out of training camp to the regular season. Then doesn't even use him first quarter to half the season, with Derek Barnett taking most of his snaps. And you're not even playing your first round pick on the field at all. And then gives the dumbass excuse of, oh, there's only a certain amount of snaps we can give players. Dude, it's your first round pick. He's got to play. He's got to produce. And you played a has-been, washed up nothing over him. That's where it frustrates me with this fucking coaching staff last year. Pisses me off. Why draft these guys if you're not going to use them? They never gave Nolan Smith a chance. And by the time they started him was late in the season. And it was just like, what's the point now? So, I think, and I don't know what, compensation-wise, I don't know what they could get. I don't know what, if he was a little bit younger, I could see a lot. I don't know. You're paying for a guy with 26, 27 sacks. I feel like, I don't know if the Eagles are going to get what they want for Reddick, for him to go somewhere. This is a trade he is seeking right now. This doesn't mean he doesn't want to come back. He just, in his own, it's like me selling, it's like when the PS5s came out. It's like me selling my PS5 to my best friend, and he wants it for like a certain amount of money that's not like, but he can get it for a certain amount of money. Where I can go online, put it on eBay, put it on, Facebook Marketplace, where somebody will pay more money. But I just want to see what else I can get for it. Instead of just, taking what I could take right now. Let me just see what's out there. Let me just see and compare what, I can get money-wise for what I want for it. Okay? It's almost like that, So I don't think the Eagles are in progress right now, even talking to. I don't think they're even in. I think it's so early in the process right now. I don't think they're even. Yeah, maybe they could be making some calls, but if this is just happening, if this news is just coming out, I would have to say that Reddick is just doing his own thing with his agent and saying and coming back to the Eagles with, like, hey, like, this team is willing to pay me this much. Let's see if we can make this trade with this team. That's really all I could say about it. I mean, if Reddick gets traded, yeah, that's really going to suck. It is. But the Eagles, if Nolan Smith produced last year, I wouldn't be as furious over it. I'm not furious over it because I'm not surprised, because he's not getting paid that much money. You know, if he got paid, like if he was like a top 10 highest paid defensive end and he wanted more money, or if he wanted to be a top 3 highest paid, I don't know. But 27 sacks in 2 years, and he's had 3 double sack seasons before he even got to the Eagles. So I mean, he's done this multiple times in his career, and he's the 18th highest paid player at his position, not even making over 10 million a year. So I get it. Simple as that. He's looking out for himself, and I get it. And he should, like every player should. So, but Howie Roseman needs to have like good cap for this. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like if they were able to they're not getting no first round pick for him. Let's be real. If they end up getting like, I don't know. I honestly, if you want if he ends up, especially depending on the team he goes to, if he goes to a team that's playoff bound, okay, I would look for a second round pick for him to a third rounder. I'm not even kidding. Don't give him up to a good team for nothing. I don't care if he's 29. If he's going to produce double digit sacks like this, like he has been doing, then you're looking for something big. Garnish another second round pick. I don't care what it is. Even if they can get a second round pick for next year, even for 25 draft, I could settle for that maybe. You know, would love some draft picks right now. But like I said, this is just Reddick doing his due diligence in his mind of what's out there when it comes to the market, when it comes to him as a player, and what teams would be willing to pay for him. And I think that's really it. Like that's what John and I believe that. John Clark even said this necessarily. I think Elliot Shore Park said it too. It necessarily doesn't mean that he's going anywhere. This is just that's what Derek Barnett did. I think Derek Barnett seeked a trade too. He was trying to seek a trade, and I mean, and he still played. He was seeking a trade before the season started, and he didn't go anywhere for a while. You know what I mean? You know, depending, if Reddick stays, who knows? But this is big cap savings, and Howie will work the numbers, will work the money, and spread some things out. The new team that will take his contract will spread things out. Will save the Eagles a lot of money because what the Eagles are going to get out of Haason Reddick being traded is draft compensation and more money saved. That's what they're looking to get out of it. They're not looking to be in a hole with Haason Reddick's $21 million against the cap. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I know if you cut Haason, I think they save about $16 million. If you flat out cut Haason Reddick, you save about 16. Save a big chunk of money out of that. If you trade him, extend him, you save $11 million. So I've already said this, guys. Like he's as much as Reddick still wants to be here, he's a cap casualty as well, where the Eagles have to extend him. The Eagles either have to extend him, or the Eagles have to cut him or trade him. Okay, like they have to do something with him to get that money, to get whatever money they can get out of it, and that's it. Between Byard getting cut post June at 14 mil and Haason Reddick for his 11 on an extension or 16 on a cut. I think if the Eagles trade him, they're going to move some money around to the point where they might save more than $11 million if they end up trading him. It might happen. So you can have close to 50 or over $50 million in cap space at that point. You know what I mean? With just 2 moves the Eagles make. So do I want Haason Reddick here? Yes. But I think it's 100% worth extending him. If I felt like he had no juice left in the tank, if I felt like he had nothing, I mean, I'm never into and 29 years old, you have room at 29 years old to play for another 3 seasons. Okay, at 29, 30, 31, I think he could play for another few years. I really don't have any issue with it at all. But the Eagles got to get younger on the edge. And Nolan Smith might not be enough. There's nothing promising right now to tell me that if they trade Reddick right now and Josh Sweat leaves after this year, that I'm fully fine with what they have on the edge because there's not besides Nolan Smith, there's nobody else. And Nolan Smith hasn't done much of anything for us. And that's on the coaches, and that's just how they used him, unfortunately. So, like I said, this isn't like jaw dropping. Oh my god! Oh my, it's not like that because I already kind of saw this shit coming. I made a video about it a couple weeks ago, and people were like, "Oh, clickbait." It's just just hear me out. Like anything happens, anything is possible. Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me whatsoever. Okay, because Reddick at the end of the day is I have to look at it as can he fit the scheme for Vic Fangio? And you know what? Like that's why I don't like this scheme because I feel like you're not getting enough out of your edge rushers because they're in coverage a lot. That's why I just hate it. I hate it for that reason. You know, um yeah. I mean, I'm the only way I'm shocked about this right now is because all this news is coming out on Super Bowl Sunday. Like, that's like the only that's like of all the days, Super Bowl Sunday comes and like all of a sudden like Reddick's like, yeah, seeking a trade. I'm like already on this day. That's all I really got to say. But it's just you're a mess at defensive end if you get rid of him. And honestly, he's 29, so he's got a few years left. Like I've never felt I've been very comfortable. I was gonna say I've never felt so comfortable like this before on an olderish type player that's still in his prime. He's still in his prime. 29 is still a in prime age to be playing this good, this well in your career. Okay? Haason Reddick is very streaky when it comes to the NFL season. There will be a month where he gets no sacks, and then the next month he'll get like 6, 7 sacks. Like that's just how he is. But it's got to be somewhat of a streak, and it does happen. Once Haason Reddick starts going, it's almost natural at that point where he doesn't stop. But when you put him in the pass coverage, that's where we're kind of lacking. And Vic Fangio is third in sacks, third in pressure. Oh, top 10 in sacks, third in pressures. I forgot. I thought he might have been three. I don't know. In the 50s, 55 to 58 sacks, whatever it is. Okay. So does Reddick fit that mold? If the Eagles get good draft compensation for this year right now, you never know what could happen. Really depends what team he goes to. If it's a bad team, you're not expecting too much draft compensation. If it's a good team, you're trying to pull as much draft compensation as possible. That's what you're trying to do. But like I said, he's underpaid, and he's just testing the waters. It doesn't make him a traitor. It doesn't make him a this is what these guys do, but I don't look, if I was getting 27, if I had 27 sacks the last couple seasons, I'm not even getting paid over $10 million a year. If his agent's saying, "Yo, you need to like try to see what other teams would possibly trade you," doesn't mean the Eagles won't extend him and give him more money. I'm just saying that he just wants to, since the Eagles are not prioritizing him right now. The Eagles haven't touched their own roster, period. Okay, that there is a plan in motion, probably, no doubt, but this is what these guys do. And like, hey, Howie, I just want to let you know, like, do you mind if I seek a trade? I'm going to try to seek a trade, but I just want to see what my and seeking a trade doesn't mean he's going to get traded. Seeking a trade just means, I just want to see what's out there, as in, what is my market right now? What teams are willing to pay me right now? And that's it. That's all it is. It's nothing like, and look, and possibly, yeah, sure, he could get traded. If there's a team that's willing to pay him this amount of money, he's gonna go back to you and say, look, this team is gonna pay me this, and I really want to go here. Is there any way we can get this done? Let's try to get it done. And we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put too much into it, but That's all I take out of it. Like, it's not, I'm not shocked over it because, I mean, seriously, I mean, the guy is underpaid. So it doesn't mean that he's given up on Philly, or he's literally just seeing what his market is. He just wants to see. If he doesn't do this, he's never going to know what his market is, what his value is at his age, his statistics, what he would get paid. So that's all it is. And we'll find out what happens. This is just the start of it. This isn't even like this is literally the start of this whole thing. It's this is just the icing on the cake, man. We haven't even baked the cake. I mean, we haven't done nothing yet. Okay. Um, so we'll see. A lot more moves are gonna happen. This is gonna be a crazy offseason. Free agency is gonna be nuts. The way the Eagles are gonna move this roster around, Vic Fangio having the control that he has, Kellen Moore, what he wants in this offense. It's gonna get crazy here. But I'm excited to see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about the Haason Reddick news, what it means. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Should he, just try to see what his market is? This way, he can at least come back to you and say, "Hey, are you guys willing to pay this?" It's like, "No, but we'll pay like $1 million or $2 million under that," and he'll be like, "You know what? Let's do it." So it's all about checking his market. That's it. You guys have a great day. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. Haason Reddick, trade rumors, trade news. Here it goes. The start of it all. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes it up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.